Happy Monday, everybody, and happy 4th of July, Independence Day. I say America.
Fuck yeah.
So understated. You got to own it. Fuck yeah.
Well, I mean, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that.
I know for sure. For sure. It's like Team America World Police. Now that song is going to be in my head.
Right.
For sure. That's, of course, where we got it from.
America, fuck yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to stop right there. Otherwise, I will start saying things. So, saying things that will get us
Like
kicked off.
Durka.
Oh my God! Stop! Stop!
Durka.
No. Stop. But anyway, how's your 4th of July weekend been?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Good. Nice long weekend.
Yeah, it was nice. We went racing Saturday night, so that was. Alex finished 5th, so which was good because there was a bunch of non-driving motherfuckers racing around him. So he actually ended up doing.
I wish people would stop saying that, because where are the non-driving MFers supposed to get any experience driving?
I don't know. Like one of the dudes I like raced against since, back in the Clash days, and he still can't drive. So there's that. I'm not naming names, just saying.
Right. But I mean, actually I saw this on a TikTok post where somebody was showing the carnage from, everybody tries to win on the first lap. And like apparently some rookie started on the pole because they qualified fastest. Right. And it was just a whole crybaby situation. And people were even calling him out in the comments, and it's like, well, okay. So the rookie qualified on the pole, but how did you want this just to be
I qualified on the pole my first year I ever raced. I qualified on the pole, and you know what I did? I went to the back. Right.
Because your dad told you to do that.
Because it's about respect. So.
Well, but is it? I mean,
just because you're on the pole doesn't mean you're like the, Dale Earnhardt.
Well, I'm not saying that. I mean, I wasn't there at that particular race with those particular circumstances, but it's the question remains. I mean, that if we want this, either we stop bitching about it, or we have a system in place where we can find a way for these guys to get experience, or training, or there's going to be certain requirements. I mean, there's certain requirements you have to get a NASCAR license, right?
602 late model division.
Well, but there's still no requirements for that. There's still none, right? I mean, it's not like a NASCAR license where you have to have so many times of experience and training.
No, that's not true. I mean, I had a NASCAR license, so.
Well, okay. Do you think? No, I mean, think for today though. I think there's a whole hierarchy kind of thing you have to go through, like Formula One. You can't.
Oh no, that's like we're talking like something that's
like. But they've got a program where you start like F8 or something.
You can't be Billy Joe Jim Bob.
Right.
And jump in a F1 car. No.
Correct. You've got to work your way through the ranks, the rankings of that. And unless we're set up to do that, where you're going to have so much training or experience.
Anyways, a couple non-driving motherfuckers around him. So he ended up 5th. Probably, honestly, should have run 3rd. So.
Yeah, I thought he did really good.
Yeah. He did great.
And also,
he got the nose ripped off in the damn dash. Order of the main event. So started 4th in the dash, got run over by the non-driving mofo on the bottom, and totally screwed the nose up. Had to change the nose over. Didn't get a chance to really work on the car itself, so had to change the nose between between dash and main event. But it is what it is. It's racing. That's why we go do it. If you win every time, it's boring.
Yeah. Well, and I thought Harris, I mean, the improvements they've done at Harris.
Oh, the racetrack. I got nothing but good things to say about the place. I mean, last time I raced there, like myself, like 7 years ago, it was a total crap hole, and they've actually really improved that place.
Yeah, I thought so.
I got nothing but good things to say about that track.
Yeah, so new ownership over there, and they've done a really good job.
100%.
And that would be our home track, because it's only like 8 miles from here.
Yeah, exactly.
but we haven't
been
there to race.
They don't run Alex's division there, or divisions, between his 604 and his 525. They're like a lot. It's a couple times a year, which I honestly wish they'd run it more there, because, I mean, the racing last night was great. I mean, feature time.
I thought so.
I mean, there was some damn good racing there.
Well, they put on a good show. They really did.
That's what I'm getting at. It was a good show.
It was a good show. It was like one thing after another. that I saw out there, and the fireworks.
Yeah,
I'm not usually impressed by fireworks.
I mean, I'm not all about like 82 divisions of cars running and getting out of there at like 1 o'clock.
Agreed.
But if they tamp down that a little bit, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I agree. I mean, that'll be something that I suggest for sure. We got some folks here. See, Scott's here. Says happy 4th from way out west in California, and he loves my hat. This is my America hat right here.
Cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I got this at the rodeo last year.
Did you?
Yeah, because I don't know what it's made out of, but it is like hard. And I would have gone this year to the rodeo, but it was like 800 degrees outside, and so I just did not want to do that.
Yeah.
And then we went racing, or we were supposed to go racing or something.
Like
so. Yep. And J. Mike Burns is here, and Jim is here saying hey. And Christopher says F Joe Biden. We agree.
We totally
agree. And Jerry's here. Happy 4th from Asheboro, North Carolina.
All right.
Yeah, awesome. And Brian says a touring series has a resume to fill out. Local tracks is show up and have at it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to go.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just on the point of, how do we handle that so that we can have less wrecked equipment?
Yeah. So, I'll give it to Harris, like this track just down the road from us right now. I mean, they've got a long way towards like actually getting it to where they don't have they're not trying to run a back gate show.
No,
there are
racetracks
very close to here that run back gate shows, meaning basically they don't advertise, and we're going to put up a bunch of money, but everybody that rolls in the pits, they're paying for the purse.
Right.
So yeah, I see Harris is like going the opposite way. They're actually trying to like do something. So.
Yeah. Then you know what? They've done a good job of being integrated with the businesses in our community.
Right.
Getting like the that new hardware store is one of the sponsors, and just they
came to my shop and asked me to be a sponsor. I just couldn't justify doing it at the time because I want to see where the economy's going. But yeah, they're out there working. They're actually actively going out in this county and doing stuff.
Absolutely. And I actually did say yes to being a sponsor. A couple weeks ago, and so we'll be on the
hence your free damn ticket last night.
Huh?
Hence your free ticket.
Yeah, that's why I got a free ticket. It was only like a $500 free ticket, but whatever.
Right. Well, my thing was that they need to run the divisions of cars I build engines for.
Oh, I understand.
More than what they do in order for me to justify putting money towards the track.
Well,
and if they did that, if they ran 602 late models every weekend, I'd freaking be balls deep in that shit. I'd sponsor them like crazy. But
well, you're gonna have some guys out there that are running. I think it's the Thunder Bombers that are using 602s, but it's not. It's not.
I don't even know. It's another stock body class. It looks like the other stock body class, so that's just nothing that interests me.
Agreed. And even though it's not like a crate heavy track for me, I have a business on Main Street.
Yeah.
If people are coming from 40, they literally have to drive right by CrateInsider to get. Yeah. If they're coming
or
from
85,
40.
Yeah.
Well, if they're coming from 85, they're not going to go past CrateInsider. Right. So, yeah. Anyway, and I guess we didn't introduce ourselves. I'm Kate Dillon from CrateInsider, and this is Steve Hendren from Hendren Racing Engines. And I see Mike has a good question. He says, hey, it's July 4th. How are you still sober?
Because you didn't see us last night.
You mean the night before?
Oh, the night before. Well, no, the night before we went racing.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So
the you part of the us here.
Yeah. So Saturday afternoon, we went to my friend Donald's house for the July 4th party, and I was there from 12 to what?
6:45.
Yes, 6:45. Then we went to the race, but it was so freaking hot, I could not get a buzz.
Oh.
So I was like hammering beers all day long, but I was sweating so hard, I couldn't get a freaking buzz.
I know, you wouldn't even put your feet in the pool. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So you got a head start today. Earlier today, about an hour.
Well, I went and got a haircut. So
yeah.
So my good friend Pat, she cuts my hair, and she's got a salon here in town. And so I went this afternoon and got my hair cut. And I don't know. I probably started about 2:00.
Yeah, and then you got here, and I was like, I went to the grocery store, and I found that they had a Moscow Mule mix. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Because actually his follow-up to his question, he's like, how are you still sober? Or are you? I am. I've had one, and I'm drinking tea.
I'm rolling with a halfway decent buzz. I'll put it that way.
There we go.
But I am still sober.
Ish. Alan says happy 4th. And Christopher says, how is the industry going with all the high price of doing business?
Dude, it's brutal right now. I mean, from my perspective, I don't know, like with you.
Well, tell me what you mean that it's brutal.
Well, no, I mean, everything's going up in price. We cannot keep track of the pricing. So it's like everything normally like in the racing industry, let's say, I don't know, let's just take a widget. So you got the widget part.
Mm-hmm.
That widget part might gain or lose price depending on the manufacturer 3 times a year. Now it's once a month.
No, it used to be once a year.
Well, I'm just saying worst case scenario, it was like 3 times a year.
Oh, I've never seen it be 3 times a year.
Well, it would be on engines and stuff like that. But I'm just when GM changes part numbers, does stuff like that. I mean, I've seen it 3 times a year. So 3 times a year, we can deal with that. Once a month.
Except it's not even predictable.
It's brutal.
It's not even predictable.
So I can't even keep on top. So some stuff that I've quoted, I can actually lose money on.
Right.
When, the final bills due, I can actually lose money on.
Yeah, because old wholesale
because the next one's going to cost me this much.
Well, because old retail is now new wholesale.
Correct.
Is what's happening.
So it's fucked, basically.
Yeah, I'm not. We just can't seem to get to price stability. I'm hoping that it will settle down here at some point because it's just all the way up the chain. But as far as business itself goes, we're still cruising along. I mean, I'm keeping a very, very close eye on it, and it'll be a little confusing because now we're getting into the time of the year where it's just going to be slower for us. Like our biggest money making parts of the year are really January through March are the biggest ones. So what you got?
I'm sorry. No,
things going on over here.
No, I'm
like
sorry.
It's more important than the podcast.
my best friend's texting me from California.
Okay, gotcha.
Showing me his fish he got.
Okay, great.
It's freaking badass.
Oh, Dream Shop says we had 4 or 5 Joe Bidens racing Saturday. Our mojo was already low. That's a good one. That's what we need to say.
In other words, dumbasses.
Well, and what's really exciting, so my amazing assistant Tori, Saturday night was her first time she's been to a race. Now she's worked for me for 2.5 years and has never been to a race.
You had a evil assistant Tori, aka amazing assistant Tori.
She's amazing, yes.
And then super evil assistant to the assistant Addison there.
It was her first race.
Yeah, it was her first race as well.
Yeah.
And she was like all excited.
Oh, it was so much fun. And I did get to explain to them a couple of phrases that we've talked about. And gosh, I can't really say them on the air here, but
you actually probably can.
Well, I can, but
it is the 4th of July.
Yeah, well, it's true. It's true. But after we saw everybody try to win in the very first lap.
Yeah.
And it's always like between turns 1 and 2.
Of course.
That I've always explained it as when they all run over each other. It's like a 17-year-old boy seeing a naked woman for the first time. Right. She got that. And that was like, it's also known as a monkey fucking a football.
Right. Yeah. Right.
That's what that looks like right there. So figured you'd get a kick out of that. All right, Paul's actually got a good question for us. Mm-hmm. He says, Steve, when building a 9-to-1 flat tappet 2-barrel motor to race against 602s on a quarter or a third-mile track, what do you try to achieve? More torque, more horsepower, or try and equal both out?
Always torque. I mean, no matter what you're doing. I mean, torque is everything.
And why is that?
And torque is everything until you get into like higher end. I mean, like I'm talking like super late model stuff to where, you're talking like 950 horsepower and, 700 plus foot-pounds of torque. I mean, because there's only so much you can get to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So like in that application, so it's very limited. So 9-to-1 flat top, 2-barrel, especially a 2-barrel, you're wanting to get as much torque as you can possibly produce. Because, well, I mean, the whole thing is, especially, I mean, depending, a lot of it depends on the size of the racetrack. So, like most people are racing on 1/4 to 3/8 mile tracks. So the more torque you can produce, the more gear you can pull out of the car So you've got a faster mile an hour. So in other words, let's say you're running, I don't know. Let's say you're running a 6.0 gear at a whatever racetrack. Name the racetrack. I don't care. So you're running a 6.0 gear. If you can run a 580 and the dude next to you is running a 6.0, but you're producing way more torque than he is, and you can take off at the same speed, your mile an hour every lap is going to be faster than that dude's.
Oh,
so
great. Cool. And Andy says, happy 4th from upstate New York. When's Steve going to do dirt seals for us in upstate New York? Is there a story there?
No, there's not. No. But like dirt, I mean, man, I wish I could, but dirt is one of the most corrupt.
Oh, stop it.
No, I mean, most corrupt sealing processes that there is out there. So honestly, probably never. I wish you'd go like, I mean, I don't know what you're running, but I mean, if you go run some rush, then it's heads up, legit stuff and everything else. But dirt, no, there's engine builders out there with dirt that are cheating shit up like crazy.
Still? Even after they're redo?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's move it on. David asks, how often have you seen a lifter go bad in a 602?
Very rarely, honestly. I mean, I can say we've been doing this shit since 2008, 2009. I think I've only seen ever one flat cam on the 602. Now I've seen lifters quote unquote go bad when guys are trying to like turn too many RPMs, and I mean, they're spitting the guts out of the lifter. But as far as like a flat cam or something like that, it's very, very, very rare.
Well, last week we were talking about shitting lifters. So what was that all about? Is that the lifter going bad, or is like,
no, it's just,
or what does that mean?
That's just terminology.
But is the lifter going bad in that particular case, or
no?
like,
I mean,
what's like, going bad that
dude's like turn it too high and like shits a lifter out. So
it like just knocks it out. Like it didn't go bad. He just overran.
Right, overran.
Okay. All right. I mean, I'm just asking. All right. Christopher says, when are you coming to Watsonville for the Pettit Memorial?
Well, I would really like to, honestly. I mean, we've sponsored every year since Jimmy's had that, and we will again this year. But my dad's race is honestly the next weekend, so it's not practical for me to like try to fly to California, go to that race, fly back, go to Pittsburgh, and then I mean, it's a bit of a thing. So it's just logistics, honestly. But I mean, we'll certainly sponsor it. I would love to come back there and race in that race, honestly, or bring my kid out there and let him race in it if somebody has a car to like let him run.
Yeah. So. Did you watch the latest Formula One race?
I just saw the highlights today.
Because Brian says Formula One race wasn't exempt from the first lap, first turns fiasco.
Yeah, no, I did see the God, who was it? I don't know who it was. It was one of the what do you call it? Damn it.
I'm trying to read.
I did see that. Really, it was like a hell of a damn fiasco. But I think Carlos Sainz won today.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so
I like him.
Yeah, I like him too. But
yeah,
former Red Bull driver, now a Ferrari driver.
Yeah. And all right, here's a good question. Jordan says antifreeze with wetter water or water wetter, I'm assuming, or distilled wet water with water wetter. What do you think would do better? Open to barrel motor. Steve's about to save you all of the money on that.
Yeah. So distilled water and 1 cap full of liquid dish soap made by Dawn.
Is it the blue one?
Yes.
The blue one. Okay.
So that will be your best combination there. I mean, you can spend the money on the water wetter. I mean, it works fine too, but like just go to dollar store, get 99 cents worth of Dawn liquid dish soap. It's about that big, and 1 cap full of that with your distilled water.
Looks like Christopher's running a triple pass radiator, distilled water, and red line blue works for him.
Yeah, I mean, it works good.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
Like I said, a water wetter is going to be a water wetter. I'm just saying, if you're wanting to save, if you want to spend 99 cents rather than $9.99, then.
Which is the price of my Kool-Aid by Maxima.
Right.
Which I think is such a great name.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid with a C.
It is.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't gotten like copy or trademark infringement or something. Absolutely. And actually, Andy says, agreed on corrupt crap. We run dirt pro stock, mention Rush at a super dirt race, and it's like being the smelly kid in school.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, yeah, it probably is. And the reason it is because Vicky actually runs a tight ship.
Yeah.
I mean, there ain't no messing around. I mean, you roll into a damn Rush race, whether it's one of their, big block modifieds that looks like that's got a 602, or whether it's one of their oatmeal modifieds or her late model class. It's a tight ship, man. I mean, you go rolling in there. I mean, you better have the right seals. You better have all the, I's dotted, T's crossed, all that stuff. And even if you do, hell, they might tear your shit down and check it out and take it anyway. So,
well, and I appreciate that at least when we've gone to, so I don't know if they do this with every single touring race or how it works, but I've always appreciated that there's pre-race tech and post-race tech. Yeah. Which you never see. I mean, the only thing you see in pre-race anything is just like going over the scales.
Well, I mean, you see post-race stuff.
Everybody has post-race,
yeah,
but who has pre-race?
Pre-race stuff. I mean, they still do pre-race, but normally it's like, very minimal. Whereas they actually go over your whole damn car basically at the pre-race tech in the Rush series.
Yeah.
But, I mean, well, and that's why. But like to your point, that's why, because you were the asshole that brought up Rush. So, but if you really want a legit racing series, Rush is the way to go up north.
Mm-hmm. Great. And Christopher says, "What do you think about NASCAR and the car and culture?"
I was a NASCAR fan for years until about 1994. And I got my reasons for that, which I'm not going to get into here. I mean, there's like few people know about this. You know about this, right?
Yeah.
And so, NASCAR is one of the most corrupt organizations I think I've ever dealt with in my entire life. And I raced with them since I was 16 until I was 25. And I've really got nothing good to say about NASCAR.
Well, I think the unfortunate part as a fan. Go ahead.
I also have a few good friends and customers who've been with NASCAR at the top level, Winston Cup, stuff like that. And it's nothing. I have not watched a NASCAR race in God. I mean, unless if I'm like at a bar or something and NASCAR race is on, you're gonna watch it. But I have not legitimately tuned into a NASCAR race since 2004, probably 2003, something like that. So no, I think it's a joke.
I think as on the fan side,
the culture of it, like fan side, I've got no problem with that. I mean, like my brother-in-law came here from Australia a few years ago. I took him. I mean, I didn't watch it on TV. I took him there. I mean, I took Adam to Charlotte. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a few years ago. God, it's been 8 years ago probably now. But I took him there, and we went there and sat in the grandstands and watched the race. And we got free passes and all that shit. But as far as I don't know. I don't like it.
What I would have to say about it from a fan perspective, and just from a growing up in racing, is that what I find so unfortunate is if you look at any of the other professional sports out there, so you've got, football and baseball and basketball, in some respects, I mean, if your daddy has a lot of money, I'm sure you can get better coaches and better training, right, and you have opportunities that other people don't have. But when it comes to racing, it's all about the money, and it has far less to do with there being like working your way up the ranks. There's no such thing. It's all about how hard did somebody that can give you a bunch of money.
Well, I mean, all right. So
also there's no passing, so it's no fun to watch. The cars don't actually look like anything you can buy. No. So, I mean, what is there? It really ends up being a bunch of pretty boys.
Yeah.
Like our show could not be a NASCAR sanctioned show just because we do not speak politically correct here. We kind of just speak. Well,
no, I've got no respect for NASCAR anymore. I mean, to your point, I So I won the 1992 NASCAR Pacific Coast Regional Championship. And we went to Nashville, Tennessee for the National Awards Banquet. So there was I think it was 6 or 7 regions at the time. And so I went out there. I was treated like a god, king, whatever, because I won the championship, which is great. I mean, it was all fun and games when you're 21. Totally awesome. But what I ended up finding out, behind the scenes, when you're actually, you're not in front of a crowd getting presented your giant freaking Winston trophy and everything else. But when you're behind the scenes and you're talking to, somebody, I mean, I'll name names, like somebody like Colbert Seagraves, who was the representative of Winston at the time, somebody like that, you just learn that it's all money, no talent.
Well, now it's teams too. What the hell happened there?
Well,
there was a pause between when I was a kid and all of these individual teams, and then they got all this consolidation. You got 3 or 4 NASCAR teams. But there's teammates. But what?
When you get into something like that, and I was again, I had my entire career offered to me on a whiteboard.
If you bring the money
in Scottsville, California, at the West Coast NASCAR office.
Mm-hmm.
So my entire career was literally on a whiteboard, and I got called to the office to go there. And they presented me with this opportunity to be like, oh, you're going to race in Japan, then you're going to do this, and you're going to do this. Just come up with the money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big fucking scam. So the dudes who got the money, so you can have a talentless piece of shit kid who cannot drive his way out of a freaking paper bag, but daddy's got the money. That's who's getting in NASCAR. So there's no such thing. You're never going to see another Dale Earnhardt. You're never going to see another Harry Gant. You're never going to see another Bobby Allison. You're never going to see another.
Mm-mm.
Hell, you'll never see another fucking Tony Stewart.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I mean, never was a fan of his. I think the dude can drive, but Jeff Gordon was the prime example of that, because that's the son of a bitch who started all this whole thing with NASCAR throwing money and getting people up in that division.
When it's all about youth. It's just watching a bunch of kids. And
dude can drive, but you got a bunch of son of a bitches out there now that can't drive. So.
Yeah. And Christopher remembers back in your day when you were running the Ford and the mod.
Oh, yeah.
and Doug says, take Bubba Wallace, for example. A guy can't drive him nail, but gets a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I think it just there's a relationship obviously between NASCAR and any of our other circle track.
When you get affirmative action in racing, that's what you get.
Yeah. All right.
So that should not be a thing.
All righty. Here's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Alan says, I'm sure you answer this question, but is it any advantage to rating rocker arms with little variants?
No.
I know. I got that question this week too.
Yeah, unfortunately. I saw where that dumbass, whatever the hell the name of that place is.
We're not going to mention
Crappy Crates or
stop, whatever.
At any rate. No.
So happy show.
So no, the difference between winning and losing with a 602, which is what you're referring to, I assume, because that's the rocker arms that they rate, which is going to make you win or lose. No, the difference between one rocker arm to the next, no, that makes zero difference whatsoever. You're not going to win or lose a race because of a rocker arm. And I'm not talking down to you with your question. I'm talking out of the company that is out here spewing this bullshit. So no, that's just another selling point that is trying to take advantage of racers who honestly don't know. So I'm glad you actually asked the question.
Agreed. Speaking of questions, I have a question over on TikTok. What do you think about TikTok anyway?
I think it's a pile of shit, but
it's where the people are. But
definitely.
Fortunately or unfortunately, TikTok shows your videos to a much larger audience than anywhere else you go.
Right.
Unfortunately, it also means that you end up showing videos to people who...
Bunch of dudes with Hondas.
No, Dodge Ram pickup trucks.
Okay, or there's that.
Yeah. So the big question is, or there's controversy over there on TikTok.
Okay.
Because I was talking
controversy on TikTok.
I know. Drama. I swear to God, it's just like the new Twitter. It's the new, let's see if we can just be hateful or whatever. But I was talking about the anti-reversion mufflers that we sell. I was answering questions about 602.
Yep.
And we got some guys over there saying, well, if they don't muffle sound, they're not mufflers. You should call them resonators. So I actually don't know what a resonator is. I know we call them mufflers because it's a racing rules.
Well,
thing.
the reason we call them mufflers is for dumbasses like that who probably couldn't identify them as anything because they're not a resonator.
Okay.
Because, they're 100% wrong calling it a resonator. So no, it's not your Dodge Ram truck that you let off the gas at the stop sign. It goes pop, 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 like that.
Oh, that's what a resonator does?
It is not a resonator.
Oh,
no.
It's like a whole rolling coal thing.
So no, well, it's, it's a bunch of dudes who all they know is, I don't know what the hell they see on random dude's Facebook page. That's like, yeah, like put this muffler on. It'll like pop and bang and sound good,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not out for pop, bang, sound good. We're out for like making power. So
yeah, and we call it a muffler because
we call it a muffler because the idiots like that. Because how else do you like describe it?
Well, I mean, Dynatech always called it a torque booster.
Well, I mean, we
say that an anti-reversion chamber, and next thing you know, it is banned from every single racing series in the country because the tech man says, "What is this?" We say it's a torque booster. Like, well, that's not in the rules that you can have this.
Right.
But in the rules, if it says, well, you can run a muffler if you would like.
Right.
Well, then guess what?
It looks like a muffler, but that's it.
Yeah. So. Exactly. All right. And Alan likes your answer there. Mm-hmm. And you and Christopher can talk about a NASCAR story there. And Jimmy says, your 602 motor ran great Saturday night against the big motors at Harris. Came from 20th to 7th. Awesome. Ran great the whole time. Thanks for the great work.
That's awesome, man. Glad to hear it.
Yeah. Good deal. And Tom is here from California. Happy 4th. And thanks for speaking the truth. And sure like the Daytona 1 XL additive. That stuff is awesome.
Oh, it is awesome.
I love the XL 1.
For everything.
Yes. Yeah. The engine treatment. It really reminds me too.
Well, we call it the engine treatment, but you can actually use it in the transmission. You can use it in your power steering pump. You can use it in the rear end.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, like Buck says, it never knows where it's at.
No, it doesn't.
It's just going to do its job.
I know.
Yeah. Yep. That's the big thing there.
Exactly.
Are you gonna go to
I'm gonna smoke.
Okay. So I can go to the Steve cam. It's okay.
No, do not go to the Steve cam.
I love the Steve cam. Look, here's a preview of the Steve cam.
I'm not a fan of Steve cam.
I love the Steve cam. Otherwise, your head will be cut off.
Well, I didn't cut my head off.
I'm not going to cut your head off. I control the cameras. Boom, Steve cam. Actually, I have a good question for you, Steve. It was in our comments before the show started.
Okay.
And a person said that actually I'm just going to read the question here that he put down. Let's see. Well, I guess I can't see it. But anyway, he was asking if you go to a dyno, to your chassis dyno, what kind of things can you learn on a chassis dyno? Can you really get everything dialed in?
You learn more on a chassis dyno than you ever will on an engine dyno. So number one, because you've got your entire combination there on the chassis dyno. So you've got your car. I mean, that's what you're racing. That's what you're on the track with. So your entire system, from your fuel system to your electrical system, everything is there like you're going to be racing at the racetrack. So the chassis dyno to me is the only way to go when it comes to like tuning your stuff to go actually race.
Yeah, I've been out there when you guys are dynoing and where you can find all kinds of issues, whether it's a water system issue, whether it's an electrical issue somewhere, right, whether it's a fuel delivery system, seeing binding in the chassis components.
Oh, we find that too. I mean, we found people with, brakes that are locked up and, and we're talking like high end stuff. I mean, I've had dudes, with super late models on there that didn't know that, they had a birdcage binding. You find that stuff. So.
Yeah, because you can see it and it's all exposed.
You can see it. You can watch it.
Right. And for anybody who doesn't know what a chassis dyno is, and can you describe what?
Yeah, it's a wheel dyno. So basically, you put the rear wheels on the dyno, and it's turning a drum. Like on our dyno, it's a 5,500 pound drum. So you're turning this drum. So it's God, what is it? It's like basically Newton's law of accelerating mass is how you read torque, horsepower, all that stuff.
Yeah, mass times acceleration. Right. Yeah.
So I mean that's how we're gauging horsepower, torque, but it's at the rear tires.
Yes.
Which matters, especially when you're in a low horsepower application, because in a low horsepower application, everything matters. So drivetrain, so axles, rear ends, transmission, everything from the engine on back all matters in the system to be able to produce power. So we can read little changes. We can read tenths of a horsepower or tenths of a foot-pound of torque, whereas, an engine dyno can't really reliably.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that brings up...
engine dyno's got its place. I mean...
For sure.
But, we had one in California for years. So it's got its place. But the chassis dyno tells you everything you need to know.
Great. You're still smoking. Yeah. So another question I'm getting about anti-reversion mufflers is, show us the dyno sheets. Basically Pixar didn't happen. And, at some point, it just becomes basically feeling like people are accusing me of being a liar. Right. Is really, I'm happy to show dyno sheets on something when it makes sense, but it's like, show me dyno sheet. Like, it just feels like people are screaming at me.
I don't know. Fucking buy one and go to the dyno.
Yeah, here we go.
Or buy a pair.
Prove me wrong. Yeah. TikTok is definitely not a. No. I was hoping it would be like a happy
TikTok's
place.
Like a bunch of bitches, just like fucking Twitter.
Oh, it really is. Oh, but they're under scrutiny now.
Most of the motherfuckers, like, the guys that own Hondas and shit.
Yeah.
So where they need a resonator to make the car sound
like
pop, 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 bang, bang.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's the sounding four-cylinder I've ever heard.
I do need to show it'd be great to show a dyno or show a car on the dyno with mufflers, so you can just hear, or maybe they just don't understand that we sell race car parts. I'm not sure. Right. So, all right, back to the normal cam. Yep, back to the normal cam. Make you happy, Steve. All right.
We'll have another beer though.
Yeah, I can do that. And I'll read you the next question. Yep. So Brian says, have you guys or the fine folks at ProFab done testing on the anti-reversion mufflers on regular 4-1 versus tri-Y stuff?
No.
Because tri-Ys are mostly illegal in everything.
Yeah, most everything we do, tri-Ys are illegal other than like when you get into like 525 and above divisions. So we have done the testing with the tri-Y.
So the 525 headers that I sell from ProFab, are those tri-Ys? I know that the Schoenfelds are tri-Ys.
Do what?
525
headers. Okay.
So are the ProFab headers tri-Ys
yes.
for 525?
Yes, okay. They are. So here's what I can tell you. On a 525, for instance, with straight 4-1, which is what you're talking about, versus the tri-Y is a little bit better just without the muffler.
Okay.
So like when you go, let's say we could take a Schoenfeld or a BA header, which is the stuff we ran before ProFab started making the 525 stuff.
Right.
So you could take like a Schoenfeld or a BA and put, at the time it was the Dynatech anti-reversion mufflers. You can take those, bolt those on, literally put them on the very end of at the very end of the collector, and you pick up 30 foot-pounds.
Wow. So. All right, Christopher really wants me to go back to his question or his comment. He says, Otis Gleason told me a story about how JP got effed by NASCAR for Ray Morgan.
Well,
I have no idea what this story is about.
I won't get into that.
Okay.
I won't get into that story.
Okay, I maybe just wanted to make you laugh then.
Because it brings back 1984, so that was a pretty huge deal. But
okay,
yeah, we won't get into that conversation here.
Okay,
I've got my opinions because I was on the Ray Morgan side of things.
Oh, and he's like, come on.
I was on the Ray Morgan side of things there because, yeah.
Okay.
I watched it happen, and yeah, not cool. But, me and Jimmy are still friends.
All right. Yeah. Just trying to be anti-controversy.
I loved his mom to death. His mom was Pat Pettit.
Oh, okay.
She was friggin' brilliant. I mean, I remember when I was a little kid, like going the grandstands at Watsonville Speedway. I was like a Cub Scout or a Boy Scout or something. I can't remember. I think it was Cub Scout. And she like took me around we were selling tickets for something, and she like took me around everybody. I think I sold the most tickets for whatever the hell it was in the Cub Scout pack. You know what I mean? Like, so his parents are rad. Jimmy's a good dude. We've had our differences. We raced against each other back in the day, but you know,
he's really trying to
I still respect him as a race car driver very well.
He's like, we can leave some parts out. All right. Dream Shop is here. 2 weeks ago, we experienced what a lot of 602 guys didn't think was possible. We blew the hell out of our motor. Okay. I think the cam broke. We have a 3-piece cam now. Okay. We were very shocked.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you'll see them fly apart every now and again, but like breaking the cam, that's
some serious.
That's an accomplishment. So you either broke a bunch of freaking rods, which flew up and broke the cam, or, you know, the actual cast iron cam failed.
And he also says we are also sporting 7 pistons and 6 straight rods, hence the Low Joe.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Wow. Well, you know, it's interesting. My dad was in the store. I guess it was it now a week or 2 weeks ago? Anyway, and he was telling me that this is relevant to this conversation. Right. My dad restores a lot of these older cars.
Yeah, he does.
And older cars were meant for leaded gas, for oil, you know, regular dinosaur oil. And he was telling me that in some of the groups that he's in, the guys are having cams fall apart. Yeah. And one of the things that they're lacking or that they need is zinc. Right. And so I sent Dad home with the ZL1, which is the zinc additive, so that he can put that into his oil. Mm-hmm. But I found that really interesting that a lot of these cams are falling apart.
It's like cams going flat, basically, is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. But
what it is. It's wearing the lobe off the cam.
Okay. And do you think that is a zinc would help that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, okay. I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, you got dudes trying to, you know, build, you know, old street rod stuff, and they're using oil nowadays that has, you know, you go buy at Walmart.
Right.
Has no zinc in it, basically.
Yeah.
Because, you know, EPA.
Yeah, but when you the only way you can put zinc in oil is by either having it be a diesel oil or a racing oil.
Right.
At least that's the way it was a few years ago, and maybe it's maybe just racing oil. I'm not sure. Do understand, you know, you were showing me a video the other day about some additive package that's not going to be available for diesel.
Yeah,
like,
did
you jump into that at all?
I didn't research it anymore, but what I was reading and watching a video on was they were talking about how like some diesel oils, basically dinosaur diesel oil. Mm-hmm. I mean, not full synthetic, but like dinosaur diesel oil is going to be like a rarity very soon. So the cheaper stuff,
right?
You know, which is stuff that farmers are buying, and you know,
tractors,
probably like trucking companies, stuff like that. It's going to be a rarity because some of the additive manufacturers who build the additives for this oil are apparently like shut down.
Mm. So seem to have a lot of disasters.
And I don't know if it's true or not. It's just one thing that I watched, and I just found it interesting. I was like, holy shit, that's going to be fucked.
Yeah. Well, and then on the back to the exhaust, Brian says, thank you. I do run BA Tri-Y on a 604.
Yep.
So, yeah, sounds like the mufflers would do a good job on
that. Yeah, it would work on that. I mean, I'm going to tell you honestly, on the 604 with the Tri-Y versus 4-1, we found the 4-1 is actually a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Back to Pat Pettit, Christopher says, Pat was nice. I would ride my bike up the hill in Seaside and hang out and look at the cars, and she would feed me and make sure I went home when the streetlights came on. Oh my gosh. That is so, that takes me back to the 80s. Yep. And like, it's one of the reasons I love watching Stranger Things, because I know you haven't gotten into it, and I just did finish the latest of the season 4 here, right. Whatever's out. It came out July 1st, and so I had to binge watch it yesterday. That was how I spent part of my weekend. But what I love is it really captures the freedom that we had as kids. Oh, yeah. Like getting on your bike and just going to your friend's house, or you know, your parents, weren't worried about you like what we have.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, our parents sure did not drive us everywhere like
Oh,
what
yeah.
you see today. Yeah. And on racing oils, Brian says, yeah, pretty much racing oils nowadays, diesel oils have cut back on zinc due to DPF filters. I don't know what a DPF filter is.
Oh,
but
it's that. Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit they're putting on shit now. But like, yeah.
I dumb for D, I can figure out what the F stands for, but I can't quite figure out what the P. Anyway. I'm a child.
Dumb
sometimes.
pussy filters.
Oh my
basically
God.
is what it comes down to.
No.
Like,
Gosh.
no, but yeah, I mean so no, it's become a total joke.
Yeah.
EPA is gonna fortunately, like the Supreme Court is kind of like reining them back a little bit because they just had that whole ruling on EPA standard shit. So
interesting.
they're kind of like,
I think we have a whole lot of interesting.
I think they're drawing them back a little bit.
Well, probably just saving them from themselves, honestly.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's saving themselves from ruining the United States. So.
Oh, I don't know. Have we gone too far? I don't know. I mean, if we hit critical mass, have we hit enough dominoes?
Who knows?
Because it's when we anyway, I'm all for freedom. Make my own decisions. Freedom. Say what I want. Freedom. That's all I have. That's what I need. Freedom. What else happened with you interestingly this week? Or that was a really weird way to say that question.
Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, nothing. It was just like another week.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Trying to draw you out there.
For what?
No. I mean, just it was an open-ended question. No, it's good.
No, I mean, it's just like another week. I mean, I have no idea what to say. I mean, it is what it is. Just another damn week.
I hear you. Well, and then we got a short week this week. Are you guys open this week?
Yes.
So are we.
So tomorrow is going to be like 2 Mondays on a Tuesday, which is going to suck. But at least we get to go play trivia tomorrow night. So that'll be like, a little bit of relief.
It always confuses me when we have short weeks because then it's like it's just on for the rest of the week. And Christopher says JP and Tim Balding are the reason I got into racing.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Very good.
That's great. Oh, and Brian's helping me. Diesel particulate filters, basically a screen in the exhaust.
Yeah, right.
Okay, thank you for that. I would have Googled it later.
So dumb pussy filter.
Oh my gosh. That is not
It's basically what it is.
No. Diesel particulate filters.
Dumb pussy filter. I'm just telling
you. Wow. Yeah, and he even said it like 3 times already. We got it. Now I'm doing some reorganization in the store, kind of moving some stuff around. That was my week this last week. We have a little bit of work to do there. Yeah. And so, if you find yourself in the Rutherfordton, North Carolina area, and you want to
really, if you find yourself here, if you find yourself randomly in the middle of nowhere.
Well, we're in the middle of nowhere between like different places. So you never know. People come here. I know. It's just like blows my mind. Weird. It totally does. Oh, and Christopher says the Budweiser car was the shit. Super.
It was actually. That was like one of the prettiest cars ever. So like if you go to, I don't know if you've been there, go to the what's the YouTube page with the old videos?
Oh, racingrewind.com.
Racing Rewind. Go to racingrewind.com.
It'll take you over to YouTube.
It'll take you to YouTube, and that's going to be a lot of my old tapes.
Mm-hmm.
There's like some Jeff Silva tapes, all sorts of stuff on there. And so it's like old VHS tapes from back when we raced out there. And I think you'd enjoy it, honestly. I mean, if you like the old Budweiser car, we got a lot of Mercedes shit back in the day. So he's on there in the old Budweiser car, stuff like that. And there's much shit with me and Jimmy racing against each other and all sorts of stuff.
Well, and to explain that, it was like a COVID thing. We'd actually talked about it before, but things really slowed down with all the shutdowns and stuff. So I got his videotapes and then I transcribed them,
which I still have.
Digitized them.
I still have more.
Yeah,
there's ones at the house, which
we could still do some more.
Yeah,
digitize them, and so that way with once they became digital, then we could put them up on YouTube.
Yep.
And with that, like I'm more than happy to take other people's collections of VHS tapes and digitize them. I mean, it's a process because if you've never tried to digitize something, the deal is You literally have to just put it in the VCR, hook it up to a computer, and it just has to play.
Yeah.
There's no quick like, hey, I'm just going to
you can't
copy.
fast
And
forward.
there's no copy paste. There's no fast way to do it. It's just play it through and try to capture it and try to use software. And then all we do is throw a couple of titles on it. And I credit everybody with their collection and everything. So that was a channel that we started. And
that'd be Mark Keys. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mark Keys is that who had the
26 Coors car?
Oh, and there was a Coors car too.
Silver
cool.
Bullet. Yeah.
And he says the 26 and
Mark Keys.
Mark Keys. That's cool.
So I actually used to build Mark's motors.
Oh, nice.
Back in the day.
Nice. Well, and I have another announcement to make. I don't have a graphic this week, but so last month we did a giveaway for a whole like air filter setup.
Yeah.
So we picked the winner on Friday because that was July 1st, you know, at the end of June there.
Yep.
And we'll do an email announcement and everything this week. I can't remember his name right this minute.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because we did it and then Tori handled all of the communications. We've already sent it out the door. So we're excited about announcing that. And so then we've decided, because it was a successful thing, that we're going to do it again this month.
What's this month?
This month, we are doing a valve spring changer, a valve lash adjusting tool.
Oh, wow.
And then whoever wins gets a choice of whether they'd rather have the match set of 602 springs or a match set of beehives. So depending if they've got a 602 or a 604, I mean, it's just going to be a
or a 525 because
or 525.
The 604 or 525.
Well, the 520 that valve spring changer won't work for a 525.
No, but the springs would. But the springs
would. Yeah. And I'd probably make a deal if there were a 525 person. I have the 525 changer on the shelf as well. So that's what we decided to do, like a whole valve spring package, and we'll also throw in a shirt and a hat and all of that good stuff.
How do you do that?
You go to CrateInsider.com /giveaway. I don't know if we've got that page up yet. So it was. Can
I register?
No, you cannot. No, you cannot.
Alex needs some new springs.
Well,
and a valve spring changer.
You have a valve spring changer. You can let him borrow your valve spring changer. I got to see if we've got the, we got it up. So CrateInsider.com /giveaway. We don't have the tab up on the top there, but we'll get this all fixed up by tomorrow. I think where there's maybe an issue with the button or something, but we'll get it fixed tomorrow and I'll announce it. When I say tomorrow, it'll be Tuesday. We're live right now on a Monday night. We'll get this fixed first thing on Tuesday. But yeah, I think I got everything here. Oh, and a speed handle too. We're giving away the speed handle
speed
as
handle
well.
Works. That's
instead of using a wrench for the valve spring changer, we're selling it with this. Well, not even selling it. So the prize amount, it's about a $400 value. Yeah. And even if you did sign up for the June giveaway, you do need to sign up for the July giveaway separately. And the reason why we're doing that is, if it's something that you're not interested in, I don't want to give away stuff to people who don't actually want the thing. No, not at all. So we want to make sure it's something that the person is actually interested in. That's the big thing.
Do you have to buy something from you to register or not?
No, you just have to give us. I mean, what we will get from you is your name and your email address. That's it. Yep. And if you win, then we contact you and get your mailing address and your shirt size so we can get that.
But you ain't spamming their asses.
No, we don't.
We've had that.
But my God, before. I mean, I was surprised at the people who would sign up for the giveaway, but then immediately unsubscribe. I mean, you're gonna get an email from us, but we don't send daily emails. We're lucky to get out one email a week.
Well, I'd pull them out of the fucking pot anyway.
Well, here's the thing: if they unsubscribe, we're not allowed to contact them.
Right.
So guess what?
You're shit out of luck.
Sorry. I mean, we could pick your name, but I'm now banned. Like you could literally take me to court for emailing you.
Yeah, it's like 10 grand fine or whatever.
It's something. It's the hand spam laws. It's the whole idea is once you unsubscribe.
So don't be a dumbass. Don't unsubscribe as soon as you register for the shit because you're shit out of luck. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you're thinking, and we're just people. We're not like this massive corporation or anything. I know
people are fucking stupid.
I know. We don't need to go that far.
No, they are,
but
they're getting stupider every day. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Christopher says, I had the Jeff Silva car and was going to make it a super street car and sold it to Jeff's son to restore.
Oh, nice.
That was nice of
awesome.
you. And he says, Dwayne Noe always
Dwayne Noe. Yep.
Dwayne Noe always had a clean car.
Dwayne Noe was one of my favorite people ever. God, he was a good dude. Back when he raced Sportsman's when I was a kid, he was my favorite race car driver in Sportsman.
Wow. So
it was like Ray Morgan for late models and, Jeff McCowan, stuff like that. And then it was Dwayne Noe was my favorite Sportsman driver. And Dwayne was a very good person. And yeah, I miss him. I wish he was still alive, actually.
Now, Brian says you can't use the S word. Facebook sent me a warning for the use of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I saw the best TikTok video. Really, for real. I showed it to you today. Yeah. Is that the whole idea is we used to have freedom. We were still slaves, but we were right. Slaves. Like you go to work and that buys you a house and food. Right. Yeah. But at least we could say what we wanted. We can go where we wanted, all of that. And now that there's the internet and things are opened up, every day they're trying to encroach on our freedom by calling it safety. Big old pile of safety. Here's a big old pile of safety.
Well, you can get banned from fucking Facebook for saying slave anymore. So what's that tell you?
Great. Yeah. Gosh, let me go see the banned list on Facebook and see if we can hit all of them in one video. Please.
Oh, I don't know. Do we need to talk about transgenders?
God, no. No, we do not. Let's see. There's a couple other comments here. Doug says, Dwayne the Sidewinder. Yep. Dwayne Noe the Sidewinder. Yep. And Christopher Jerry Cecil passed.
Jerry Cecil. Yeah, I saw that.
West Coast.
I did.
Oh, West Coast. He passed. Yep. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, it's awful.
Oh, and actually he says that's why the coffee mug picture. So anybody who's just listening to the podcast and can't see, his profile picture shows is a coffee mug and it says Facebook jail inmate. It has a little cage around it.
Yep. You fucking dick.
Well, okay, I'm like the one person that hasn't been banned from Facebook yet lately, but
I got banned from Facebook literally for like, what was it, 3 or 4 days?
Yeah.
Because I posted a meme that said well,
wasn't it like a meme that was like 3 years ago?
No.
Oh, that was another time.
This was like 6 months ago or whatever it was. I literally posted a meme that I just copied, pasted, posted, and it said something to the effect of because the economy is so shitty, I'm selling my nudes. So it's like $5 for a nude, $25 if you don't want one. And I got banned for freaking 4 days on Facebook. And now I'm seeing all my friends posting the same shit and none of them been banned.
Wow. But there was another time that they were going to pull you and you're like for a meme that you
it was like
posted like 3 years ago.
3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that.
Wow. And Christopher says, and Trump 2024. Those probably swear words. It's probably on the banned list.
Yeah.
I don't know if I missed any at this point. Well, I think we are right at about an hour.
Yeah.
Do you have any? Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts for anybody?
I don't actually. I rarely have final thoughts.
I know. But...
I have future thoughts. I don't have final thoughts.
Oh. Well. Okay. All right. Do you have anything else you would like to share on the show before we sign off?
No, nothing's pissed me off enough to talk about this week. So yeah, no, okay. I'm good.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you so much for being part of the show. We love answering your questions here. And of course, you can follow us on all of the different things, that Facebook, YouTube, and even TikTok. Just look for Crate Insider.
Christ, fucking TikTok.
I know, whatever. But we're there. We're there answering everyone's questions. And
we're not there. No, she might be there. I'm not
there. I'm there. And Tori is here, and she says final thoughts with Steve could be a thing. We could actually turn that into a thing. I would agree. That's a thought.
We will talk about evil assistant to the evil assistant throwing mud clots at me last night.
Okay, all right. I do have one final thought. Okay, I talk about mud clots.
I was hurt by that.
I don't know. You probably can't see it on camera. I got pelted by one. It's not enough light to see, but I got pelted by one. Well, I turned to miss it, and it still hit me. So anyway,
evil assistant to the evil assistant
threw mud clots
at me and really hurt my feelings.
I'm shedding a tear for you right now. I'm shedding an Amber Heard tear for you right now.
Of course, she's like 4, so.
Yeah. You deserved it too. All right. Well, thank you all. Thank you for being here. Thanks so much for being part of the show. We'll be back next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube, so you can join us live. And in the meantime, have a great week.
Later.